You have a podcast and it's called How Married Are You? What does that question actually mean to you?
So it actually started out as kind of would you say a joke? Where Glenn would do something extra for me, where it was like, oh, today I clipped my wife's toenails. How married are you? You know, and it
Oh,
was just
okay.
kind of like something that he did in his stories where he'd be like, I did this for my wife. What did you do for yours? How married are you? And when we started our podcast, we were trying to figure out a name for it. And one of our followers was like, how about how married are you? And so that's how it became How Married Are You? But I do think that over time, it has evolved into this beautiful, I would say, checkpoint of like, how married am I? Like, how far am I willing to go to make sure that my marriage is successful and healthy and safe and loving and caring? You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a joke anymore, but it's really like, I'm so married that I will do what it takes to make sure that I show up as the best version of myself and give my spouse permission to do the same.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, though it started off as like a joke, the question still feels like a challenge. So we find things to do so we can remind each other how married we are. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? This is going to be my How Married Are You? I'm about to do this.
What is it that having worked on this podcast, what do you think most couples misunderstand about marriage?
Ooh. There's so much. You know, people grow, they change. If you watch the first 5-6 episodes of the podcast, we were a mess. I was a mess, big time. I think that's one of the biggest comments we get now is like, I'm really impressed with your growth because I didn't know y'all would last this long. Like, seriously.
And I'm surprised people stuck around to find out. But to piggyback on what Glenn said, one of the things we say often is who you marry is not who you end up with. And so I think that, and sometimes that's for the better and sometimes that's for the worse. But I think that is a very important reality for people to acknowledge, is that you are marrying someone you love right now, but you have to be willing to love them at every version of themselves. Glenn often talks about being or having a master's degree in me, because he's constantly learning the different versions of who I've become.
Yeah. In addition,
and it's the same.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Yes. And I think too, this is something we debate over, but I think being understood is overrated. So many people in relationships want to be understood. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, just tell me what you need me to do. I don't need to understand it to do it. You know, like I will do whatever you need me to do. Me understanding from your perspective isn't going to be the best thing for you. Right. Like I remember just a couple of days ago, Yvette asked, she was like, I'm having trouble teaching Anaya how to knit, because she was knitting. And she was like, maybe I could teach you and then you can tell me how to. I'm like, I don't want to learn how to knit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be in this one.
I don't want to do that, you know? And I think for me, I'm just like, okay. And I have to be okay with saying, hey, babe, that's a solo mission. That's not something I need to be a part of.
It was research for me, because I felt like if I would try to teach him, then he would be able to communicate clearly where I was missing the instruction.
Yeah. And I would just be like, you know, well, don't teach her to knit. You know what I'm saying? Like, try something else. But the girl's knitting now. She's knitting and she didn't need me to do it. So,
yeah.